This is Double Exposure Show, co-hosted by Sophia Lemon and myself, Petro. Keep listening if you're a photographer, entrepreneur, or small business owner looking for actionable business and marketing advice and funny, off-topic rants. If you're not one of those, stop listening right now. Just kidding. Here we go.
I just about lost my voice just now. Did you hear that?
3, 2. Speaking of, so my little daughter,
Yes.
Mia, freaking most incredible kid in the world, has been growling lately, and I don't even want to say growl,
for
but
her.
she found a different voice, so she talks to me like this, like. It's freaking amazing.
That's adorable.
It's awesome. Like, and she gets a kick out of it. Anyways, it's super, super fun.
What a
So
dork.
yeah, she makes my day better. She makes my life better. I just love her to death. So I'm going to show you a little video. Hopefully you can see it.
In her diaper.
She's in her diaper. But do you see what she's doing?
Dancing.
She's twerking. So we bought,
Is she in a black t-shirt?
obviously, hello.
Just like daddy.
Twinsies. Yeah, she looks cute in the black t-shirt. So, and black t-shirt and little jeans. Oh my God. The little kid is freaking adorable. And she's got these little Puma sneakers. They're gray with pink. My goodness. Cutest thing ever. Wherever we go, people just melt.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to
Here's
go
a
out.
question.
Yeah.
Because I find babies adorable. And whenever I see a baby, I'm like, oh, baby. If you're out in public and you see a baby or you see a puppy,
Okay.
which would you go more gaga over?
Neither.
Oh. Because I was at Starbucks and
Yeah.
my Starbucks friend and I, there was a baby in there and there was a puppy and both of us were like, oh my God, the puppy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I will appreciate both, honestly. But I don't go, oh my God. I don't know. I just keep a poker face and I go like, right on. High five. Hannah and I were told on 2 separate occasions, in 1 week, on 2 separate occasions by 2 separate people, we should have more babies because they saw how cute Mia was. Literally, I'm pushing a stroller through the fucking grocery store, and this woman stops and she goes, "You guys need to have more babies." Like, we'll work on that. Thank you.
Are you guys done after this next baby?
I don't know. That's the funny part because, yeah, like Hannah said before we decided to have number 2, she said, let's see how 1 goes.
Yeah.
And so I think she's keeping that open mind and just says like, well, let's see how 2 goes because like they're a lot of fun. Like kids can be a total shit show. And
Oh, yeah.
like Mia, like I was telling you in the last episode, she uses my old expired film as her building blocks.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't the intention. My old expired film was sitting in a cupboard in my workstation, and she went in there and took it out, and as the same with 9-volt batteries. So she was using 9-volt, brand new, fresh 9-volt Duracell batteries as building blocks, and so let's just say that the frustration can be real, but the key is to just realize that it's your fault because yeah, it is. Well, first of all, you know.
Yeah.
You should have pulled
Usually
out.
we're pretty laid back though, so I can see it like baby's going well for you. But
Yeah, no, we're pretty happy.
that also said, Hannah kind of strikes me as the type of person who could handle a lot of babies. Like where she could just have number 2 and then she'd be like, we could try another one. And then after that, let's try again.
I don't think I'd want more than 3. I
No?
mean, we don't have a big enough house. And then at some
Well-
point, you kind of have to realize that you're going to start neglecting one. So the first one, the second one. You just can't help it. So But no, she just makes things better. Like I get to mold this little mind, this little person, influence her. Like no matter what you do, no matter what you give her, she says thank you. She's
Aw.
15 months old now, and she can't speak very well yet, so it sounds Chinese. She literally goes xing xing, and it's adorable. You can't help it. Like it melts your heart. Because I'm constantly cleaning after the dog, because Tank's just super hairy, or I'll be picking stuff up off the floor so that she doesn't accidentally eat it. She picks up stuff off the floor so that she doesn't accidentally eat it. She will find like I just had a little chocolate bar, one of those Halloween Kit Kats. If the little piece of plastic fell off and fell on the floor, she would pick it up and hand it to me. And of course, when she does that, I would say, "Thank you, Mia." And that gets embedded. And no matter what I give her, she just says, "Thank you." It's
Yep.
freaking cute. And of course, that everybody's going to say, "Oh, just wait till they get older." And I'm telling them, I can't wait till they get older, because like she was really frustrating today. Very frustrating today because she just didn't want to sit still. I'm trying to send an email and she's typing, and I'm just like,
That's what you just go, fine. You send the email. You do it.
just whatever. The email can wait a little bit. And so when I put her down, I finished the email. Not a big deal, right? Client didn't get it for 45 minutes instead of for, right away. Big deal. So, and that's what you're going to have to realize, right? You have to look at the positive things. And that's kind of what sort of this episode is about, because I listened back to our catalog of episodes, and I find that you and I are pretty laid back people too. And we're pretty relaxed, but we're kind of yelling at everybody. We're kind of like, "Don't do this," and so we tend to come off a
Kind
little
of my
negative.
tone of voice, like all the time.
Yeah, the
Well,
RBF,
just
is that
get-
what they call it?
I just
Resting.
get so excited, and then it comes out as yelling.
Well, the good news is it actually isn't yelling. We're
I know,
we're
but people
giving
get
you,
confused.
Yeah, we're giving you actionable advice, and sometimes you can't help it but say like, "Okay, guys, don't do this." Right? You see this electrical socket? You see this butter knife? Don't put the butter knife in the electrical socket. Right? Sometimes you just have to kind of say it like that. You can't always find the positive thing. You can't be like, "Okay, this wooden toothpick is okay to put in the socket." And at the same time, like, we're not going to try to sugarcoat things and kid glove and whatever terminology you want to use. But I kind of wanted to spin it and have a positive episode, have something positive about it. So I thought I didn't want to.
Hey, there's something positive in all of our episodes.
That's true. So many jokes come to mind. Anyways, I didn't want to tell you. I wanted to put you on the spot, Sophia, but I did want to ask you this. And maybe it's not fair that I didn't tell you ahead of time, but I want to ask you, what's one positive thing about your job that you enjoy and then you go to bed happy about?
So, because of BNI, I'm meeting with all of the members in BNI, and they keep asking me at the end of our meetings, like, what my ideal referral is. And
Yep.
I've kind of found a new way of describing what my ideal referral is. Like,
Tall,
I don't
handsome.
get into, right? Yeah. Really good looking. They make a lot of money. They live in this small geographic area in an enormous house. No, not those qualities. I've kind of changed it because you know what? I've had clients who have spent a lot of money with me and have referred me to a zillion people, and they are not people who make a ton of money. They just value different things than other people do. And one of the things that they value is not high quality photography, but their family and their friends are super important to them. So documenting that, they're willing to invest the money in that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I just said? So basically the way I've found to describe my ideal client is those people who love everyone. Like, you meet them and they give you a hug immediately. And when you leave, you feel like you're friends with them. Not that, like, you're going to be their photographer or whatever. Like, and when you, every time you see them, you're like, longtime friends meeting again. But you know those people in your life who are just super nice to everyone? They have so many friends, like a huge group of close friends. Their family's really close, and they're just nice to everyone. They see the good in everyone, and they don't see people's flaws.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Kind
those
of.
are the people I like to work with.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just are so
am I one of those
nice.
people?
You're pretty close.
Damn. What can I do to improve?
Well, you have rants too, right? And maybe
Right.
it's because I've known you longer, so I hear, like, the negative stuff that comes out of your mouth. Like, not that you say negative stuff, but, like, everyone notices negative things. These people just...
Yeah. You
Don't
can
talk
be,
about
so
it.
here's the thing. You can be nice to 10 people and then be a dick to one.
Yeah.
And that one person will change the minds of those other 10 people really
Yep.
fast by sharing their story.
Yeah.
And, yeah, this is what happens.
I just really like working with those people because they kind of make all the other crap worth it.
So here, typical me would say, well, what if they're bad workers? And you just kind of said, well, they make all the other crap worth it. And that's kind of a good point because we're so used to chasing the best. So I'm in two industries. I'm in I guess three industries, but I'm in the photography industry and I'm in the music industry. And in the music industry, they have something called tone chasers. And these guys and girls are basically, they're my ideal client because they're always buying new pedals in order to, what are you
Sorry,
doing?
I'm sending a picture to Ralph because he's going to flip in love that there's a bunch of guitars behind you.
Oh, that's, yeah. So anyways, going back to that. So these tone chasers, they're my ideal client because they're never happy. They're always in pursuit of happiness of their tone. They're always chasing tone. They're always, oh, this overdrive doesn't sound proper, whatever. They're not negative people. They're just curious, and I don't know how else to explain it. Well, I think it's a really bad thing, and I hope they're not listening to this because basically I want to say this, that you're wasting your time.
Your whole thing of like, it's better than good enough.
It is better than good enough. Trust me. Like this $80 pedal is just as good as this $500 pedal.
Yeah.
If you're buying the $500 pedal for, and in some respect, it's not true. Like the stuff in between or the more expensive stuff is better, but oftentimes it has more controls and just more to it. There's more to it. And I'm trying to kind of explain it to people who aren't into guitar pedals, for example. But that endless pursuit of happiness can drive you bananas. And so you can actually spend a lot of time trying to find the right person to to do your housework, the right person to do your post-production. And you're right. You really would just need to surround yourself with positive and reliable people. I think the reliability aspect should be the number one key here. And if you find people you can work with, like that makes you happy, that's going to be the better thing in life. I'll be completely honest with you. The people I work with, there's probably better people in the industry, better experts in the industry. And I'm probably not the best printer in Canada, but I'm a pretty good one, and I will ship your stuff to your client really fast, and I'll be nice to you, and I'll give you, 4 years to pay your bill. Now, not dropping any hints, Sophia. But I'm not. I'm really not. I didn't mean you.
I literally just had a moment where I was like, oh my God, wait, No, I haven't said in that order yet. Oh, I owe you money. No. I haven't sent it yet. I've just
That's
thought
so
about
funny.
how I have
Right.
to
No,
pay.
that's what I mean. But I have those. And I mean, you just surround yourself with positivity. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you answer the question? Like, what's one positive thing about what you do?
I don't know. Those working with those super awesome people.
Okay. That makes sense. You want to know what's the one positive thing about what I do?
What's that?
It's the fact that even though I technically work from home, it's that I don't bring work home. It's that I'm able to relax and give time to my family that I'm not. And there are times where I can't do this, but for example, Hannah had a day off yesterday and her dad wanted to go out for breakfast. And I said, yeah, let's go. Like, that to me is the positive thing about what I'm doing that I love. Just the freedom of being alive, the freedom of doing what I want to do. And
My bad.
no, that's fine. And so the question that came to me once was, well, what does that have to do with, with kind of like with your job? I'm having a hard time reiterating it into words. So let me try.
You can do it, Petro. You can do it.
All right. So they're kind of saying like, well, you can have that with any job, right? Like, you can be a chef and come home and spend time with your family and take a day off when you need to, et cetera, et cetera. And how is you being negative, or how is your podcast where you come off negative? How is it helping you become positive? Well, it comes down to kind of efficiency, right? We talk a lot about outsourcing. We talk a lot about becoming an expert so you don't have to spend a long time doing something. That will create a lot of free time. So, for example, I talk about workflow, and I talk about sitting down and, properly downloading your images, calling them as they download, or before you even download them, backing them up at the same time as they download, all that. Well, when it comes to real estate photos, I do not use Lightroom. I use Bridge, and I don't download the photos. I work off the card. So I pop the card in the camera. Yep. I will, in Bridge, select the photos I want to work on. They're JPEGs. I open the JPEGs in Camera Raw, crop, straighten, color correct, all on the fly between 30 to 40 images, and then I save them to an email that I just hit send on. So the workflow is just super fast. I can do it on the job site, whatever. And I got there from learning from other people's mistakes, learning from my mistakes, Yep. And that specific workflow has given me the opportunity to save an hour or two so that I could be home and do whatever I want to do, even if it's just my guilty pleasure lately has been video games. Even if I just hop on and play a video game while my daughter sleeps and I decompress. I was about to say decompose.
Well, it's a little bit true.
Yeah. Like, excuse me. So that's what it comes down to. And you can't do that. You can't do that, because when I catch you out of the corner of my eye, I'm just like, what? Thanks. This is how we're doing it from now on.
You're still looking.
I can't look at you. So that's kind of the positive thing that I take away. And basically, I've kind of made it a game. I find it rewarding when I kind of find little shortcuts, when I figure things out, how they work faster, how they work better, etc. So, for example, something I shared with you earlier was that this month of October, now, unfortunately, this episode might come out in November.
Yeah.
But this entire month of October, Canada Post is doing free shipping. And It's every Tuesday. So there's 5 Tuesdays in October, and it's unfortunately only one package. And it's only in Canada, so there's a lot of restrictions. But yesterday I shipped a lot of products, and there's one particular package I could have shipped with Canada Post, but I didn't. I shipped it with Purolator. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want to interrupt my workflow. I didn't want to all of a sudden pack it differently. I didn't care that I would save myself $8, $9, $10, however much. I just needed to do it my way, just so that I could get it done, so that when Mia woke up, I could feed her lunch, and then we could just get going and we can do our thing. You know what I mean? So sometimes, like, I'll not take advantage of things just so that I can take advantage of life, if you will.
Yeah.
But this did want to kind of bring me to another point. Like, there's got to be things in your life. I know there's things in my life that they're not photography related, or they're not tools meant for photography, but I use them for photography. I implement them for photography because they make my life easier and therefore lead to happiness. So you were making a list, so I'll let you take over.
I have 3 things, and they're not even necessarily business related. Like, one of these is not related at all, but I'll get to it. And I'll just try to be as quick as possible here. So, my Kindle.
Okay.
Because apparently you should read all the time. It's one of the first things I do in the morning, and then one of the last things I do at night is just read something informative. And right now, because everyone thinks that you should read this book, I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's good. And actually, I so far have pretty much only read the parts about how you shouldn't criticize people and you should give them positive feedback.
Okay. Interesting.
So just kind of interesting given that we're recording this episode today. An Apple TV. So we have an Apple TV in the studio, and I can sync mirror my monitor, my laptop, with the Apple TV, so I can show people their photos on a larger screen.
Mm-hmm.
Super handy. Not to mention, it's what I watch Friends on. So there's that.
Have you seen the entire catalog of Friends, and you're just kind of like doing it again?
10 times.
Right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm on like my 4th or 5th round of the series. I'll watch it probably once a year.
What's your favorite episode?
I don't really have a favorite episode, but my least favorite episode is for sure any of the flashback episodes, because I binge watch it. So
right.
A flashback episode, like, I just watched those things like 2 weeks ago, so I don't need a flashback. So I just skip them, which is also super handy on the Apple TV because you can skip those episodes. Okay. And then the last thing is I have this Bluetooth eye mask, which sounds weird. It's a Bluetooth Bluetooth headphones.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm traveling, I can put that sucker on my face so it's dark, and then pop some music on, or usually it's a podcast to listen to so that I don't have to listen to people screaming in the hallway.
You gotta be kidding.
Which has happened at weddings.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are my 3 things.
So when you said you're making
By the way,
By
the way, on the Kindle, How to Win Friends and Influence People, I believe it's Dale Carnegie who wrote the book.
Yes.
The boys are here cutting the grass, in case you hear the lawnmowers in the background. I just heard that.
We don't hear it. Yeah, I think your noise cancellation helps us with that. But how does it go again? I love it.
It's that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, I believe, is like 73 cents.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that cheap anywhere else.
Oh, probably not. But yeah, I love the Kindle. Anyway, go on.
Off topic. Will Kindle read to you?
I don't. Well, the one that I have won't. But like you can make notes and everything on the books that you're reading. Mine is e-paper as well. There are different versions of the Kindle. You can use the Kindle on your iPhone. So there's Kindle apps. So you can have your books across all of your devices. But it's also connected to Audible. So I kind of wonder if you buy the book, if you get a discount on the Audible version. And I'm not sure if those sync as well.
So I'll start backwards. I'll start on my list. And it's funny because like I made it when you're like, oh, I'm writing down 3 things to talk about. I'm like, oh, I'm going to write down 3 things too, because they'll make this episode pretty quick. And
you wrote down 10 things, didn't you?
I wrote down 3 things, but my
good.
third thing, actually, I'll show it to you. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay.
It says Audible.
Oh, Audible.
I absolutely love Audible. And I mean, at first I had a hard time parting with $13 or $15 every month for that credit. But now I'm like, this is very inexpensive considering that I'm kind of paying somebody to read me a book.
Right?
That's how I see it. So, talking about spinning things in a positive way, like, I feel like an audiobook is kind of, it's not the same as reading, but yesterday when I had to drive for nearly 4 hours, it was great because I do listen to podcasts and I do listen to music, but at some point you're just like, I want same topic, well put together, well rehearsed, and audiobooks. So I don't actually remember the title of the book that I'm having somebody read to me right now, but it's not important. There are so many good books out there that if you ever wanted to read and you're putting it off, even if you've bought the paper copy, which I've bought a lot of paper copies of books that are sitting on the shelf that I'm never going to get to because I'm just way too busy, and I can't read while driving. I'm not a city bus driver.
Some people don't like reading, and to be honest, I don't really care for it, or I didn't used to. It's starting to grow on me now that I've been doing it consistently, but I don't read like fiction and stuff. I read like business books before I start working for the day, or I read like health books before I go to bed. So I don't know.
I love reading.
Don't like reading, so
started reading when I was really young, and I would lock myself in the bathroom and lay on the bathroom floor reading a book. I don't know why, but it was just really cool for me. What happened is as I grew older, I think I developed some sort of ADHD. I do have a hard time focusing on something for a long period of time. My mind does wander a lot, so it is difficult to. What? It is difficult to kind of focus on things. I will admit that. I mean, I probably need to be like medicated or something. And even listening to an audiobook, I find myself drifting off and rewinding. Like that just happened.
But you can rewind.
That's the beauty part.
The Audible books, like you buy them, you keep them forever. And I am pretty sure that if you get, because Audible is owned by Amazon, I'm pretty sure if you get an audiobook or you get a Kindle book, you get either a discount or you get it for free on the other one. I'm not sure.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'll look into that. But so number 3 for me is Audible slash Texture. Texture is an app that is actually like a ton of magazine subscriptions. I believe it's $10 a month. But it's great. And I mean, this gets me reading as well because there's woodworking magazines, there's car magazines. There's not music magazines, unfortunately, and I wish there was. But really, music magazines are mostly interviews, and I love reading gear reviews. Like you see, there's gear behind me.
Surprise! You switched the guitars.
No, I mean I play them, so obviously they switch.
You switched them between our last video and this video. You moved.
You're terrible. This is. I want you to screenshot this video and our last video and see if you can pick like at least 3 things out that are different.
What else did you change? Your hat? And I'm wearing exactly the same thing.
I know, right? So here I am trying to make it look like they're literally 2 separate episodes recorded on 2 separate days. And you ruined it. You ruined it.
Oh, people know better.
Well, I did it for you. I wanted to see if you'd notice.
That's so funny.
And the
Oh
reason
my
I wanted to
God.
see if you notice is because we started the last episode with me saying, "Oh, Sophia, I like your glasses," and then we had a discussion about.
Okay, you can't. Me wearing glasses is completely different than you wearing one black hat and then switching to another black hat.
But in my
Don't start
defense,
with me.
no, it's not different. It's exactly the same thing. And so, but it goes. It's okay. Side
Oh, my
note:
face hurts. Yes.
I have a sick obsession with messing with people's heads.
Yes.
I love putting people in really awkward situations.
Is that your next thing?
No, it's off topic.
Is this a tool?
You're a
Like a
tool.
voice changer thing so you can do like prank phone calls?
No, but funny enough, my number two. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to it. My number two is actually a myriad of Apple products. And this isn't a plug for Apple or anything. It's the fact that just everything works really well. And it's actually very helpful in my business. So one of my favorite...
So again, my number two was Apple TV. 'Cause
I know.
I could sync my computer with it. And you're saying
know.
Apple products.
Apple
Okay.
products, because it wasn't just Apple TV. I did put Apple TV here when you said Apple TV, but what it was HomePod. We recently got a HomePod.
I do not have that.
You don't know? You don't
me
have
more.
that? Okay, so
No.
HomePod is kind of like Amazon Alexa or Google Tablet or whatever the fuck it's called.
I have no idea.
The
Google Home?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
The HomePod is actually a very large speaker, and it's actually a very good quality speaker. And the video I showed you earlier of Mia dancing and wiggling her bum, that's a HomePod. And it's funny because she figured out that if you push the top of it, and again, I didn't know this, if you push the top of it, it plays the last song that was playing on it. So she goes over there, pushes it, and starts dancing, and it melts my heart. It's like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. We have Bluetooth speakers, we have a sound bar, we have all kinds of music in this household, but it wasn't until the HomePod that I started listening to a lot more music. And actually, sometimes I even listen to my audiobook on it. And here's why. Because I can say, hey Siri, turn on the station that I listened to last, whatever. And it might...
Yep.
Sorry, I can't create a station based on that.
Okay, right. I screwed up. I didn't say it properly. But I can say, hey Siri, play top 40.
Okay, the top 40 songs coming up.
Right. And hey Siri, stop the music. And that's that. It's funny. It's as stupid as it sounds. That's made me use it a lot more, because if I wanted to listen to music, I had to go pair my phone to my Bluetooth speaker. Oh, it needs to be recharged, and I just wouldn't do it, and whatever. But whenever I wanted to, so iPad was one of these things too. About 5 years ago, I put like all my photos on the iPad, all the good photos, and what I do is I share them in iCloud. So at any time I can update them, and they automatically sync with my iPad. So if I meet with a client, I can just show them on the iPad. If I meet with a client in the office, I can sync music, play it on a HomePod. You know what I mean? It just makes my life so much easier, and that makes me happy. Like shit just works. That's what it comes down to. The number one thing that I listed is my rigid work lights. Excuse me. And I've stopped using flash, like the Alien Bees or my Pro Photo lights, almost 2 years ago, and I haven't touched them since. What I've been doing is I bought these rigid work lights, and they are run by the rigid batteries, which are basically batteries for like drills and saws and whatever. And they're 18 volts, and these work lights are so bright, you will blind yourself. They're LED, first of all, so they run really cool. If they fall, they don't break. And you can pack 4 lights into a backpack. 4 lights and like 8 batteries and 2 chargers. And the cool thing is they're wireless. You put them on the same stands as you would put your Canon off-camera flashes, and they have the same thread that the bottom of the flash has, and the head tilts. Like, I don't think they was designed for this. I really don't. But this is the
Nope.
case, right? And I bounced them through through umbrellas, bounced them into umbrellas, and I even used them through soft boxes. They have effectively replaced my lights, and I've been made fun of on a job site that for bringing work lights, but it fuels my passion. I thrive on it. When people point and stuff and laugh, and I'm just like, just wait till you see the photos. You're going to eat your words. And they do.
Yep.
And the next time I show up to do a job for them, they're like, did you bring your rigid lights? Like, they're almost excited about it. And then they go, oh man, come here. You got to see this. He uses work lights, but I went home and I used my work lights. It didn't look the same. It was just hot spots. Like, so
Well,
it's actually a lot of fun. Like, but and you know what? It's kind of like, hey, I'm thinking outside the box. I'm not looking for this solution. It was just something I saw, and I thought, I'm going to do it. And my motivation behind it is literally just so that I can have time for myself, because nowadays I just grab a bag and go. Before, I had to pack everything. I had to test every light. And
Yep.
the funny thing about the rigid product is if you register it online, it's lifetime service agreement. So, here's the best
way
part.
better than any strobes ever.
Here's the best part. When your battery dies, you get a free battery replacement. Ooh. Right? So, Rigid for life. And Rigid, if you're listening, will you just sponsor this damn podcast already? I've wrote to you like hundreds of times. No, I never wrote to them.
Well, we're going to now.
Right. I don't even think they know that. I don't even think they know that application. And one of my favorite things was always finding solutions for things that aren't meant to be implicated as solutions. Like developing 2 rolls of 120 film on a single reel, like that was very rewarding to me. Like I still think about it. I'm like, fuck, nobody ever did that. I did that.
Just makes sense.
It does. That's what it is. At the end, you just go, this just makes sense. So I kind of wanted to make it a positive episode, and I really just wanted to give a positive tip to people. And it's Sophia. Here it is. Ready? Slow down. This is the tip. Literally, just slow down. Just stop worrying about achieving everything by the end of the day. And I know it kind of sounds negative because I'm saying stop, but start being okay with things not working out right away and things not happening for you, because they will. You will find a solution. You will work it out.
Speaking of Lola,
And it's funny
live in the
because
moment.
Live in the moment. Yeah, that's what it is. And like when we started this podcast, there was a lot of learning curves, and I had a dog that would start barking, and he would remember when he would drop his bone everywhere.
Yeah.
It would just clang, and we lived with it. So once in a while, it'd be Hannah who would be at home, or Mia, or something. Pure later showing up. It's okay, we still get the stuff across.
Who cares? Well, yeah, when we first started, we were super obsessed with sound quality, and it's hilarious because probably if you went back and listened to those original episodes and then listened to this one, you'd be like, it sounds way better now.
Right? I know.
Even though my dog is barking in the background and I can totally see in the audio that I can see where the lawnmower was going.
Yeah, I heard the lawnmower for a bit. Well, and it's funny because
what are you doing with those gloves?
well, I'm going to tell you something really funny. It's something that I observed.
Mm-hmm.
So I use black gloves. They're disposable nitrile gloves. They're for everything. It's not that I'm a germaphobe or anything, but anything I do. This is another thing. Like I find
Germs are bad.
No, germs are fine.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm not a germaphobe, but I find people just tend not to think. But I keep these gloves everywhere. I keep them in my camera bag. I keep them in my truck, in Hannah's truck rather, in my car. If I need to do something that I might get dirty, I'll throw the gloves on. Not because I don't want to get dirty, but because sometimes if you're dirty, you're like, what do I do? Wipe it on my pants, my clothes, what? And it's a simple solution, but it's, so a tip, invest in some gloves. They're at Home Depot. They're freaking amazing. I needed to change a tire once, gloves, saved the day. I needed.
Plus, if you dressed up like Petro is dressed up right now and you went out with black gloves, you might look like a serial killer, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, why not? Works for me. But it was just something really funny because I don't want to contradict myself, but I tell you, you know what? Just do your thing. Be as efficient as possible. But I don't want you to all of a sudden just forget what's going on and just settle with things. I still want you to be aware of your surroundings. For example, this made me think of like how people don't pay attention to stuff. These things are expandable, so it honestly doesn't matter how big your hand is. You can get medium, large, or extra large size. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's a box like this big. There's 40 of them in there, and when you go to Home Depot to buy them, there's literally this box, and beside this box is a size smaller. So there's large, extra large. The large gloves are $10. The extra large are $6. There's absolutely no difference. Same brand, same glove, just different size. And I remember, I'm sitting in the aisle and I'm looking at both, and I'm going like, why is one 10? Why is one 6?
Right?
One's 10, one's 6. And what's really funny about it is the only reason I came across that is because I was like, you know what, I'm going to open a box and try one on because I want to get the right size. And they both fit exactly the same. Anyways, so back to that. So it's the fact that, I observed it. So regardless, I've bought them like 20 times. I remember going in the aisle and watching a person come up, grab the large size, and walk away. And I thought, it's like, should I tell him that the other ones are cheaper? And I'm like, whatever. It's not like they're $100 cheaper. I'm just going to let him go. Make his own mistakes, make his own decisions, whatever. And so I grabbed the size that I want. And after the gentleman grabbed it, I noticed that it's the large that was missing the most. that was being purchased the most. And it made me kind of think, like, do people just not pay attention? And
no, they don't.
We don't, right? We don't pay attention. And it's not that, hey, pay attention and you'll save yourself 40% off your next purchase. It's the fact that pay attention because you could see solutions and opportunities for things that don't present themselves to you any other day. And that's how I discovered my rigid lights, and basically I just want you guys to have an open mind. So stay positive, keep your eyes peeled, and you're going to find things that will help you strive, will help you build a better relationship with your clients and coworkers, and just basically have a better business.
Can I add a couple things to that?
I don't think you can.
So you said to stay positive, right?
Yeah.
Pay attention. I'd say don't try to do everything. Like, relax a little bit and take a step back maybe. And then on top of that, always learn. So always be open to learning. Explore things that you find interesting. Look at other people's ideas.
My fear is that as you listen to our podcast and you hear it come off a little bit negatively, is that you will become kind of this negative person where all you think about is don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And you establish this set of rules that you sort of live by. That's going to be a bad way to move forward, because unfortunately you have to I'm not saying break the rules, but I'm saying live outside of the paved road, if you will, right? Like, did you freeze on me? No, my God, you were still for so long.
I can sit perfectly still, but
yeah,
I would say that probably when we're ranting about stuff, when we sound like we're angry, like don't do this, it's not like we've talked to someone recently who did that. It's that we probably did that at one point and
Yeah.
may still be doing it.
Yeah, so may still be doing it. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like here we are saying, okay, keep your eyes peeled and do this thing, and when we say don't do this, it's kind of like saying like, look, we've kept our eyes peeled
Well-
and we found this doesn't work, so instead do this that does work, right?
Well, you know what? And here's the thing: if you do that thing and you found a way to make that thing work,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe doing that one thing that we say not to do works for you, go into the Facebook group and tell us what you did.
Right. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, so you're going to learn as a new creative business owner, you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff. Your business is going to change significantly in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, in 3 and 5, and so on. If
Well-
I go and spend time with someone who is literally just starting their business, it's not like I'm telling them how to do everything. If I have a conversation with them for half an hour and I listen to what they're saying, I'm probably going to learn something from them that I had never considered or never tried.
You know what I learned from starting a new business like less than a year ago, which I'm talking about Pedal Boss. I learned that I'm more of an expert than almost any of my competitors. There's a lot of stuff that I brought over from my printing business, and I'm about running a business, first of all, but also about logistics. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I have clients who come to our tiny store, if you will, and we do a lot of stuff in person. We, demo product, hand over product, take payment. But there's a big number of people, I'd say majority of our clients are actually online. And my expertise from the other field of photography that I brought over with me has made me more of an expert than people who have been doing this for 30 years because they are stuck in their old ways.
Yeah.
So I use that as with that open mind. I think that if somebody came to me and they're like, look, I'm starting a photography business. What can you just kind of go over a couple of things and talk to me about things, kind of look at my business. If I put my guard up and right away and walk in there like I'm an expert and I know everything and I don't listen to what the person is doing, I've now just basically I screwed up. Because you don't know where this person has experience that they're bringing to the table, so to speak, right? And by keeping an open mind, by asking them qualifying questions like, okay, well, tell me how you do this. Tell me, how do you approach this? You might actually learn something from them, somebody who just started, and that's kind of like we were talking about our last episode. We were talking about dealing with experts, right? Sometimes you might be that expert by thinking you know more than the other person. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's what you have to keep in mind. That's what you have to keep an open mind about. But I'm telling you, it's funny watching my business grow, the new business, the Pedal Boss business grow and thrive in areas that I didn't think it would do well in, based on solely on the experience that I bring from my printing business and my photography business. Even just customer service. Like I have people telling me I've dealt with 4 or 5 companies in the past year. I will continue buying from you. It doesn't even matter if you're higher priced, because of the service and the quality of service that I'm receiving. Great. High five to you. I literally, this client who wrote that, I sent him a free pack of guitar strings. This is a thank you, and I included a thank you note in there after he said this. But I also sent him a box of Smarties. And he wrote me back, and he's like, "You made my day." Anyways,
Speaking of customer service, that's going to be a future episode because I have a rant. Shock.
shock. So, on a positive note, at least we don't have a rant today. Although, was that a rant just now? Did I not just rant?
A little bit, but that's okay. It was good. It
It
sounded
was a good rant.
Unrelated.
Yeah.
But sort of related. Hey, if you want a fun t-shirt for free.
Where do you get one?
Yeah. Go to f8style.com. F, the number 8, STYLE.com. And use the promo code DELaunch when you check out, and you will get a free t-shirt with the purchase of a bag. And I want my t-shirts now, Petro.
It's not like it's been a week. It's
want
only
it
been
now.
a couple hours. I mean, all I did was switch guitars around and wear a different hat.
I know.
I get too excited, I cough.
And I'm still in the same Manitoulin sweatshirt.
Yeah. Take it off.
I like this sweatshirt, though.
What do you like about it?
It's comfy. Keeps me warm.
All
It
right.
says Manitoulin on it. Representing Manitoulin Island.
You know what happens when I go to Manitoulin?
What?
I put the man in Manitoulin.
No.
No? Doesn't work?
But there is a little town called Manitou, or there's a lake called Manitou up there.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
I've never been to Manitoulin.
Really?
Never.
Oh man, we should go up next year.
All right. I've been to Tobermory.
Yeah.
It's great. It's one of my favorite
Manitoulin,
places.
you would like Manitoulin. So Manitoulin is less touristy.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean there's just fewer people. And it's a little bit more... like Tobermory's a little bit built up with all the restaurants and stores and stuff.
Right.
And
What?
Manitoulin's a little less built up.
What is the name of that boat you have to take?
The Chi-Chi-Mon?
Oh my gosh. Like, who did they let name this boat?
It is a native name.
I know.
And so there was the
Chi-Chi-Mon.
Nindawema and the Chi-Chi-Mon. And I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, Nindawema is like little sister and Chi-Chi-Mon is like big brother or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, if you watch Bon Cop, Bad Cop, or is it Bad Cop, Bon Cop?
It's one of those. I don't actually know. It's a good movie. It's a good
Yeah.
2 movies.
Well, the
Funny as hell.
Nindawema is in the background in one of the shots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Son of a biche. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. I want to go have lunch. Speaking
You
of
should.
positive things.
Speaking of little sisters, my sister has a son who's 2 years old. And they got a kitten so that he could grow up with a little animal. And they named the kitten Mei Mei because in Chinese, Mei Mei means little sister.
Aww, that's so dorky.
Right? Mei Mei. I just think it's super cute. So
Dork.
the ship should be renamed to Mei Mei. Instead of what do you call it?
It's Nindawema, which
I-
means little sister, I believe.
Yeah. Speaking of little, I hear Mia in the background. She is now
Oh, is she
fully
up?
awake. Yep, and I'm looking at her on the monitor. She's up. She's sitting up and hugging her little polar bear.
Aw.
Yep.
She's not yet like, Petro, come let me out of my cage, please.
She calls me dad.
Oh,
Yeah. We're still there.
just wait. Just wait.
She has never said mom, but she calls me all the time. I know. Hannah doesn't care. She said, well, there's a theory of why they do that, but I'm not going to get into it. But sometimes, like if Hannah's giving her a bath, I'll come and I'll take her out of the bath and like get her dry, put clothes on, whatever. But you hear when she's ready to get out, she goes, Dad. It's the cutest thing ever. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, having a great time. But on that note, I think
bye.
I'm gone. Yeah, chowder.
You've been listening to Double Exposure Show. Thanks to Benjamin Edward for our aardvark, Ben Sound for our theme music, and thank you for sharing this episode with a friend. Don't forget to join us in the Double Exposure Show group on Facebook, and if you like what you've heard, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes.
Until next time.
Get to work.